So I'm going to call it a scandal because it's definitely a scandal because Major League Baseball, I think they're probably the worst sport at dealing with like scandals. Like they're worse than the NFL in my opinion. Like they don't do shit well. But basically what came out is there was a very popular YouTuber named John Boy, big fan of him. He makes a lot of funny videos, and he makes serious videos. And this is where I first heard about this. And then I went and did my research, and it was about pitching. Pitchers are literally cheating. Basically, they're finding a way with like sunscreen in the Ryzen bag or whatever they can find.
Explain the Ryzen bag.
It's like the bag basically gives you grip on the ball, right, Peyton? It's like behind the pitching mount.
Yeah,
like
the Ryzen bag.
So usually you're supposed to grab it, right? Like say this is the bag and I grab it. Let's use this as an example. Like this is the bag, I grab it with my hands. And then you got pitchers doing this. Like dapping up their forearms, like touching their hats and shit. Sorry. It's like why are they doing that? Because they find out this like illegal formula that like makes it so they can super glue their hands to the ball. And Juan, why do you think that's important? What do you think that aids in?
Well, at first I thought it was the velocity of the ball, but you told me it's even deeper than that. It's the fact that they can grip it so great and have it to their fingers to the last possible second so they can throw a better curveball or whatever.
They can spin it, and that's all the baseball they figured out is the spin rate of the ball.
Yes, correct.
And this is what one of the guys on the video said. He's like, imagine you trade for a guy, like say you trade for Derek Carr, and he's a pitcher, right? And you're like, well, we can trade for him, and we know he spins the ball at 1,000 rates per minute or a second, whatever. Well, we can give him this new substance, and it's like 1,600. So you just made an amazing trade
for him.
So basically say, imagine every like quarterback can throw 50 yards, but we figure out, if we put like a little stickum on their hands, they can throw it 60 yards. So that's like the level of it's a huge boost.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just like low key pitchers. Like two of the best pitchers in baseball over the last 2 years have been doing this. One's Trevor Bauer and one's Garrett Cole. Now, do you know what team Garrett Cole's play for?
No.
Trevor Bauer?
Bauer, the Reds?
Dodgers. That's good. That was last year.
He was on the Reds, yeah.
They both won Cy Youngs in their contract year. Cy Young is MVP for pitcher, basically. Like the best pitcher gets it every year. Bauer turned that into 3 years, $102 million contract with the Dodgers, and Cole got 9 years, $324 million from the Yankees.
Fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
So this is affecting contracts. It's affecting wins all around the board. This shit is fucked up.
Correct. And basically in the record book. Exactly. Because that year Cole won it, he was having an historic year. What was it, Peyton? He won like 22 decisions in a row.
It was ridiculous. And his spin rate went up it was like 300 or 400 in one offseason. Like, oh my God, was Garrett Cole just like a physical freak? And I was like, no, he just uses pine tar. That's the only difference.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
I was reading his Wikipedia today, Peyton, and it said the reason his spin rates increased is he tweaked his throwing mechanic a little bit. And the Astros said we told him to throw harder. Like, okay,
that's it. That's simple,
that makes sense. So basically, what's happening to batters is this year, especially batting is down across the board. Well, to everyone who doesn't know baseball, because I doubt many baseball people are listening. Yeah. But basically, batting is at an all-time low. There's more Ks. They're throwing no-hitters like popcorn. Yeah. And MLB teams told the pitchers this year before the start of the season, we're going to collect baseballs. And there's pictures, and like it's kind of like the graphic. There's just fucking glue on the ball.
Looking like Lester Hayes and shit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Brad Biletnikoff looking all stick 'em.
I don't understand how Major League Baseball can't address this and like come out with some concrete shit. It's just like the Astros when they cheated. They're like, oh, they cheated, but we're not going to do anything. We're just going to punish the manager. And then they like
trash can real quick.
Yeah, go get a trash can to bang.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know about that one, right? One.
No,
that
I'm just laughing because it's
no, but you don't know about the Astros thing?
Oh yeah. Okay. How they cheated and shit.
Yeah. And this is like a huge competitive advantage. And there's been like Trevor Bauer. He's really outspoken, right? He's kind of like, who's now spoken in NFL? He's like LeBron. Like anything he says, people are listening to the baseball world. He was going on Twitter like 2 years ago talking about doing this because everyone does it. Right. And I just don't understand how this controversy can happen. And it's a rule. It's against the rules to put foreign substance on the ball, but people have been doing it. So I want to know what you think, Juan, because you're like a blank slate in baseball. You have no biases. You don't care about any of the players. Yeah. Hearing something like this that's affecting the product, that's resulting in batters who are also in contract years not getting paid. What does this mean to you? And then I want to hear what Peyton has to say.
I mean, I think it's bullshit. It's bullshit because it's affecting everything. Like I said, it's affecting contracts. It's affecting wins and losses, down to how you scout players. Like it's everything, and it's obviously a great advantage. It's something not little to the point where like it's something little, like it's all right. This shit is fucking big, bro. Like batters are having fucking career lows. Like what the fuck? Like at this point, if you're gonna let this shit be cool, like bring back fucking steroids. Like at this point,
bats.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like what the fuck is the point if you're not gonna get mad over this and you're gonna get mad over that?
I'll simplify it one more time for anyone who wasn't paying attention. Imagine you could trade for Draymond Green knowing you could get his 3-point percentage up to 40. That's what it's like.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like how it's ridiculous. And Peyton, go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah. So one about, it affects everyone. And I've seen different articles where they estimate, even Sports Illustrated has the biggest one that you sent me, that, I mean, they think it's 80 to 90% of pitchers in the MLB. So it's not just like it's just an Astros problem anymore, or it's it's just a few guys. Like it's rampant. Like this shit has spread like wildfire. Everyone's doing it.
It's the fucking steroids of the 2020s.
And Max is correct. The MLB batting average this year, I don't know if it's at its all-time low, but it's very close, and it's 237. Is the average around the MLB for everyone right now.
Just for reference, one like 300's really good, 280's pretty good, 260's like I would say 260's like a decent hitter, right, Peyton?
Right, yeah.
230's like you're fucking trash, bro.
Wow.
And
230's like if you're gonna hit 230, you better hit 45 home runs with it. That's kind of what it is. Like,
and I mean, this is not doing.
Wild.
You would kind of argue too that the MLB would want more home runs, would want more hitters.
You know, it's funny.
And this is degrading it. Like it's making the game worse to watch. Like I doubt anyone. Like it's probably cool to the purist baseball fan to watch a no hitter, but to the average consumer, they want to see scores and they want to see hits, and it's not doing the MLB any good.
You know, it's funny that you say you think they want more home runs. About like what 2 years ago, Peyton, the MLB was been accused. MLB basically owns the way baseballs are made. People don't know how they're made. And what I mean by that is
proprietary.
It's proprietary. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't pronounce that. I'm not going to try. But basically, the way they can wind up the baseball tighter, so when batters hit it, it'll go further. So like the last 3 years, there's been like, maybe not last year, but like there's been years where it's like, why are there so many home runs? Like guys who can't hit for shit are hitting 40 home runs. And there was this big thing, I think when Bauer won the Cy Young, Peyton, where he was talking about there's been so many batters that hit the ball shitty and it flies off the bat. Like it's insane. Like I remember I saw a guy take the slowest freaking swing, the ball's going out of the park. Like it's insane. So I don't understand how baseball can't fucking figure out, do we want home runs? Do we want like pitchers to cheat? Like they're winding up the baseball. Imagine they change the basketball where it'll go in more often. Imagine they could lower the air in it. And it's they made the hoop, but they didn't tell anybody. It's like, is the hoop bigger? It's like, oh, it's 1 millimeter bigger, but that makes all the difference. And it's just ridiculous. I don't understand how Major League Baseball, like that's why I said I think they're the fucking worst. Like,
yeah, that's why they are the worst. NHL is fucking better than them.
It's not. I'm just talking about the way they interact with problems. Like the NFL, it's not perfect, right? But like when Ray Rice like hit his wife, they made an example out of him. They were like, you know what? We're not going to stand for this. Baseball's like, oh yeah, we're cheating. We're going to allow it. It's like, come on, dude. Draw a line in the sand or make it legal. Do something. Stop just treading water and saying, oh, we're going to do something, but you don't do anything. Like they make no one happy. And when you were saying the thing about home runs, I was reading an article too, and it's like people don't even want to see home runs anymore. The most exciting plays in baseball, according to people, are triples and doubles. Like, I don't understand like what baseball is fucking doing. Like, this is why no one's watching you. This is why attendance is always down. I love baseball. I don't follow it as much as I used to because I just don't have the time anymore. But how can you let these guys cheat? I don't understand. Like, either allow steroids, allow all this shit. Because steroids used to be legal in the 80s. No one knew what the fuck they were. They're like, all right, taking steroids, no problem.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, fucking even out the playing field. And I just want to say this. I think you're the one that told me. I forgot where I heard this, but the contract for the MLB with the players is coming up right next year.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a reason why they're prolonging it? They're just waiting for the negotiation
Like as a tool,
period?
I have no idea, dude. They were supposed to be doing the survey, right? Like, we're going to take a bunch of baseballs this year. No one's in trouble. Keep doing it. It's like, oh, we know you're doing it. We're just going to see what this actually does. But then they added the minor. They banned 4 minor leaguers 10 games, and then the next start for these following pitchers: Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias, Jin Yun Ryu. You don't know any of those pitchers, right?
No, I do. You named a couple of Dodger
Well, you don't know
pitchers.
most of those pitchers.
Yeah.
Those are all like pristine pitchers in baseball. All
those are
their
all fucking great pitchers.
all those spin rates dropped drastically in this next start since they banned the guys. So if you have the cream of the crop pitchers doing it, why wouldn't every pitcher do it? Like, to me, Peyton, when you said it's 80 or 90, it's got to be fucking 100. If the top guys are doing it on each team, you don't think the other guys are doing it? It's just ridiculous, bro.
It's bad, man. Rob Manfred and with the like comparing it to the steroid era, like the steroids, if you got caught doing them at first, everyone kind of knew they were doing it, but then they did come down hard. Baseball came down, and I think it was a half a year suspension for the first time. And if you got caught again, it was a full year, correct?
Robinson Cano's banned a whole the punishment, if you get caught twice, you're out a whole year. Third time, you're done forever.
For sticky stuff?
Yeah.
No, for steroids.
Oh, for steroids.
Yeah.
And so this is just it's 10 games. Like fuck, who cares? It's just 10 games.
That's
like,
2. You missed 2 starts.
Exactly.
You can still play 30 games.
It's the punishments are not the same. I don't know if they're trying to use it as a bargaining tool with the new CBA or what the whole deal is behind the scenes, but it's bad, man. Like you said, they want to market themselves to the younger kids, and everyone wants to see home runs and everything. But like this, it's just cheating in general is just bad. No matter if it's steroids or the juiced balls we were kind of talking about just a second ago, like winding them up tighter where you can hit a pop up to the shortstop and it goes 350. Like it's been pretty bad run for baseball over the last 5 to 10 years with the cheating aspects, and I don't know. I'm with you. They got to do something to get it under control, and the only way to do that is to just hit them hard, like make an example out of someone. That they have to do it.
Well, I'll wrap it up with a couple questions for you guys. Is there ever been another sport like football and basketball? Let's just focus on those two because that's primarily what all three of us know, where cheating is so rampant. Like, you don't really hear NFL guys getting suspended that frequently for steroids or. Like, yeah, they do bad shit off the field. But I'm saying in the sport itself, is there cheating in the NFL as bad as baseball or basketball? Not really.
Nothing to this point where it's affecting to a big impact. Because football, the closest thing that I can think of is Stick'em, which they banned. That was big in the 80s and 70s. And then
but it wasn't
the whole
league
football thing with Tom Brady, the Flakegate.
Yeah, and maybe Spygate. We'll throw the
Spygate too.
But that was just one instance of it. That wasn't like 80% of football players doing it. Yeah.
Oh no.
You know what? I thought of one.
Spygate, everyone was doing it. Patriots just got caught.
Oh no, I thought you meant the deflating the footballs. Like every quarterback likes them a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I was gonna say I think the worst one by far, probably is Bountygate. That was the worst one for football, even though everyone fucking team did it. But again, it still wasn't affecting outcomes of games as much as this. This is ridiculous.
This is a bigger impact. It's all about the
impact. Let's back forward. Let's go back forward. Let's rewind 3 years. Astros are cheating in the World Series, like literally getting a competitive advantage where they're hitting like twice as good at home. So it's like, what sport does this? And is baseball the most archaic sport when it comes to dealing with problems? I would say the NBA is the most progressive. Like whenever there's a tragedy, like the whole NBA family, like the whole NBA is like, oh yeah, we're with them.
They're the most flexible.
And then I'd say football, it's still a little archaic. It's a little more progressive in the last few years. Like the jersey numbers are one example. Like they've lessened up on some policies. They let them smoke weed. Baseball's fucking archaic. They don't want to change. They if a pitcher, remember when Fernando Tatis Payton hit a grand slam up 3-0. Let me explain this to you, you'll get a kick out of this. So there's 4 balls and you walk. You know that, right?
Yeah.
If you're up by 5 runs or more than 5 runs and it's 3-0, you're not supposed to swing. You're not supposed to swing. This guy hit a grand slam and he had that count. It was 3-0, right? He had a grand slam for his team. They go up by like 10, right? His own manager condemned him.
Yeah, because it's like America's pastime.
And and then you get hit by the pitcher, and then you're like supposed to be. Is that the biggest bullshit? Imagine you're like Julio Jones caught an 80-yard touchdown, you're up by 18, and the coach is like, "What are you doing, dude? Why'd you catch that?" This is why baseball's losing fans. This shit's archaic. I love tradition. I love it. Like I was kind of on the fence about the jersey shit in the NFL. But like baseball, you got to get progressive. You got to get with the fucking times, dude. Clean your sport up. Stop having people cheat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No other
Adapt
sport
or
cheats.
die.
Yeah, exactly.
Adapt
And
or
this is
die.
why
That's
baseball's
it.
dying.
There's only two ways you can go.
Exactly.
This
And
was
that's
bad.
why, I mean, the NBA does a great job as far as like young fans. Football, I would say they're just the perfect like match made in heaven. Sundays, like it's a week, it's every week.
A casual fan in football knows a lot more than a casual basketball fan because
Exactly.
you can watch 10 games of your team and you watch what is that like 40% of the season.
Yeah.
But basketball, you watch 10 games, you miss like 70 games.
Yeah.
Just for instance, and it's ridiculous.
And with baseball, like first of all, baseball has way too many games. I think they have way too many. Second of all, there's a lot of just downtime in it. Like I feel like they need to speed up the pace. Like even with the booth review, it's like that even slowed down the game even more. And it's like, why wouldn't you want to speed up the game? Like,
well, I was gonna say, just to build off what you're saying, like baseball's the least exciting sport, right? Like it has those exciting moments, and like there is nothing like October baseball, Game 7. Like every pitch is high tension, right?
Mhm.
But when in the regular season, it's boring. I love baseball. I can watch baseball game, but there's times like you can be on your phone between a pitch, right? You can't take your eye off a basketball game or a football game. You'll miss something.
You have to be a purist. You have to really love the sport.
And that's what I was getting to. If you're a purist and you fucking keep having all these cheating scandals, what's your sport?
Yeah.
What is it? If you're the most pure sport, what's left when you got a team cheating on offense and now you got all the pitchers cheating? It's like a joke, man.
Yeah, it really is.